G'day everyone, Calvin, Shedding Sheep New Zealand. It seems that this seems to be the best place to have a chat with Grant in his ute. Outside it's quite windy today, but we've actually just been down the paddock to look at my Texel. And Grant has very kindly thanked me for kind of what I'm doing for the industry and helping the shedding industry promote shedding sheep. And he has offered me the loan of a Texel cross ram. That's 580.22. So I'm going to thank you for that.
No worries.
And tell me about that ram.
Yeah, he was born in obviously 2022 out of our AI program. We imported some Texel semen from the UK, shedding Texel semen from the UK. We've also got some shedding Texels we sourced nationally as well, but we also went abroad and found some over there. And he come out of that crop. He was a really early clean shedding ram, and probably in the top 2 or 3. Well, he was good enough to retain for ourselves, and we actually used him in one of the matings recently. We used him over some ewe lambs because
You used him as a lamb, eh?
we used him as a ram lamb. That's right. We used him over hoggets, just because a lot of people got a lot of feedback that we might have issues around hogget mating with our Texels, and I'm just the sort of person, if someone challenges you, I'm going to take the challenge. And so I threw a Texel with a little bit of a square head. He was a little bit square. He wasn't too bad in the shoulder, but he was a wee bit chunky. And so I just threw him over some hoggets, basically to challenge my flock. The only way to find out whether your hoggets can spit out lambs is by challenging them to.
Yeah.
So banged him over some hoggets. He got stud hoggets and a few commercials as well, but mainly stud ones. So we've got a little bit of few ewe lamb progeny on the ground from him. And
Used him again as a tutor?
no, we didn't use him. No. Someone jumped there. We kept three from that sire line.
Okay.
And he was probably the top pick as a ram lamb, but probably by 2 tooth, another one jumped over the top of him. To be fair, 581.
Yeah.
So we stuck with him. And so he sat in the paddock this mating.
He was your backup ram?
He was a backup ram only. So, and to be fair, if he was to stay here, he would probably more than likely just continue to be a backup ram. So he might as well be getting used somewhere.
Yeah. Right.
So we've got some rising. Well, they are 2 tooth daughters of him in the flock.
Yep.
And to be fair, I haven't really inspected them to a great deal, but I'm assuming they're okay because they're here.
I've looked through the numbers and there's still some on the records that haven't put, when you put your culls in, hasn't shown them leaving yet. So that's positive.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Massive numbers on them.
Yeah.
Massive numbers.
Yeah.
Now, he's got 281 as his half brother.
Yeah, half brother, same sire.
Because so they've got Enfield, Wiltshire on one side.
Yeah, on the dame side.
So that's your big deep, but like horse.
Yeah,
or just horses like that. That's that styling of ram.
Yes.
I think he actually goes back. If I look back far enough, I'm pretty sure he goes back to an Arvidsson ram a long way back. But
he does, yeah.
I'm still going to treat him as being naive to eczema.
I think that's probably safe. Yes.
Yeah. Well, as he's coming up, he's going to be dropped at another breeder down the country, I suspect.
I think
that's going to be easiest. So we're going to pop a bolus in him.
I think that's a good idea, just to be safe.
And he'll get another one mid-season. I've already worked through that.
Okay.
So and I'm trusting my ewes are going to have enough on the eczema resistance. Being the Texel, that shedding, though, he shed as a lamb, he shed as a 2 tooth. He shed nicely every year. Clean shed.
Clean shed as a lamb, clean shed as a 2 tooth.
So
his shed BV's in the positive. I think it's around 1 run. So I mean, it's fine. But in saying that, I would still be looking at when you're coming back over with the crossover as daughters, I'd probably still be looking at something with a little bit stronger shedding genetics.
Yeah, and that's kind of my plan.
Yeah.
I'll still get sort of 12 and a half. It'll be dropped off. They're going to come out as 25s because he's half Texel. So I'm going to get 25s. And then the next cross will be 12 and a halves. That's still pretty good. That's enough Texel to still stand out.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to help just bulk the size of my ewes up. And it certainly should up my growth rates.
We'll do that, yes.
And we're going to really challenge it because, of course, I have weighed my ewes, my lambs this year, both at birth and through their growing period up to weaning. So I have those weights. So it's going to be interesting to see, providing I can provide similar growing conditions.
Yeah, it's always difficult to compare between seasons. Even if you do have even what feels like the same season, could be different. Yeah, it's very difficult to compare between seasons.
Yeah, but I still think it's worth a try to see what goes there.
There'll only be a small margin of error. It'll be within Kiwi.
Yeah. The other advantage I've taken off again, moving forward in another year, of course, I've dropped off another bottom half of my ewes.
So your ewe flock should be more.
They've improved again. You know, I've taken those bottom portion off.
Yeah.
In the main mixed age ewes, there's going to be no external genetic coming into my flock. I'm not going to go to the sale and suddenly buy another 10 ewes just for fun. That's not going to happen. I'm going to stick with my main ewes. So that's a big bonus too.
It is.
As my flock develops. So we've got those other factors that could affect our results, but it'll be really interesting to see. So hopefully I'll get my scales going and we'll do some weights and see some growth. And of course we've got videos we can go back to and look at the lambs, what they look like. My lamb prop this year's been really nice. So that'll be interesting to compare that. And of course we'll keep you updated on that.
Yeah.
As far as you talk about the variance, because he is crossbred, there's going to be a greater chance that I'm going to get different variants in my offspring, isn't there?
There's more than a great chance.
Mm.
Yeah. So I think you can get down to a 1/64th of a breed, and you're still going to get genetic variance from that. So he's a first cross, so you're going to get all sorts. But I think that scares a lot of people off. But I think it's a little bit naive to have that thought process, because you're killing 75% of your lambs anyway. So they don't all have to be perfect.
Yeah, well, of course.
This is the thing.
Half of them are ram lambs.
Half of them are ram lambs.
And then you've got...
How many replacements do you need?
You've a number of replacements.
So they cull too. So you just keep the best. There's a real misconception that everything has to be a maternal type that's being born. It's just, I personally don't understand that theory. But yeah, from a commercial sense, you want to be culling as many, and who cares, as long as they grow fast and are meaty. So you might get a little bit of throwback from shedding, even though both his parents he's fully shed, he's shedding score 10, and his two parents were shedding score 10s. But there is that wool makeup going further back into the Texel.
Yeah.
So it is going to pop out. It will pop out.
Yeah.
I think probably the other thing, the tail length too, you'll get big variation in your tail length, because his tail length is coming down a little bit. I think it's above the hop slightly.
Oh, yeah.
You'll get some that'll throw to the Wiltshire and grow the long, straggly tail.
My tail length is actually creeping up anyway, getting shorter. It's looking nice. I've got that one line. I've got one line that really is long, and she's throwing long again. Yeah. The older ew's gone, but some of her daughters have still got those long tails. So I think he's going to shrink those ones, but my short tails might get a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But again, there will be some variance there. I don't need a tail anyway at the end of the day, and as long as they stay reasonably clean.
Tail is only aesthetics. That's all it is.
Yeah, that's right. There are times actually when I get annoyed with the tails, when they get a bit lazy and they don't get up to take a crap and it's got muck on it. It just annoys me. It wouldn't be there.
Yeah.
And so that's something I still struggle with tails.
It is. Yep. Yeah. And it would be nice to have the perfect tail, a nice short bear tail.
Yes.
But I think in shedding sheep and in sheep in general, I think we've got bigger fish to fry than a non-productive trait. I think we've got to still focus on production traits.
Yeah, I think it's a nice to have, not a must have.
It's an on top, yeah.
And I'm not going to cull a really good ewe because she's got a long tail.
No.
I would have taken out my best ewe if I had done that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's going to come up. My goal is to use him for 2 years. Not put him across, hopefully not put him across his daughters, but I'll use him for a couple of years. Yeah. Meat top 1%, growth top 10%. He's still got survival.
I think he's got survival in the top 20%.
Might be 30, I think, actually. Top 30. Reproduction's still like top 17 or something.
Yeah.
Good BVs. So he's amazing ram for a little guy who doesn't have a lot of use. Like, he's just it's something amazing.
Yep.
And so he's actually on a loan to me. As I said, I will be paying the freight to the North Island. We're forming a contract here. And he may or may not ever actually come home. We've discussed that. On the insurance, actually interesting, because you said don't bother too much, but he is actually, because I don't own him, as long as he drops dead, he's actually insured.
Yeah,
My insurance policy covers him if he drops dead. Nothing else though. But that was quite interesting talking to the insurance company on rams, because of course, well, I don't want to focus on it, but yesterday you had a big sale.
20,000, 20,000, 20,000, we get 20 bags. Put 20 in the money, I'll give them 1 cent. I'll give them 1,000. 20,000 bits of bag. Over 20,000. Over 20, we get 20,000 bits of farm, we get 20,000. Over 21,000, fresh blood. Over 21,000. Over 21,000, we get 21. 22,000. Over 23,000. 24,000. 24,000. Over 24,000 bits of farm. 24,000. 24,000. If you're online, you're out of the 24,000. Over 24,000, I'll give you half. Give you half. 24,000 bits of farm. 24,000, buddy. 24 and a half. 24 and a half thousand. 24,500. Over 24,500. 24,500, we get 24 and a half. And 24,500 done then. Well done. At 24,500. 22, 24, goes to 20.
Hey, Grant, smile.
And you top the sale at 24,500. And of course that ram changes ownership at the fall of the hammer. Bang, that's the conditions.
Yep.
You've come down on yesterday, you've settled in, you've come to the reality of what actually happened.
Yep.
You were a bit of a stunned mullet when you were in the ring.
When it was selling, yeah.
You were just like,
Yeah, it was all a bit of a blur actually.
yeah, there's numbers and there's big dollars being thrown around all around your head.
Yeah.
And the auctioneer's shouting out lots of stuff and you were a bit blown away. That was your pick of rams though, wasn't it?
Oh, he was the pick of the rams, by far. Yep.
Any chance you've got a better one that you could give me?
There's a chance I got a better one, but not a chance I'm going to give it to you, sorry.
Worth a try. Worth a try.
Yeah, well, we've just gone and had a look at the keeper stud sorrows, and there is a couple there that I think there's definitely one there that I would possibly rate better, and another one there that's a good type, a different type of type.
Yeah.
Depends on what type you're looking for. Possibly not better, but yeah, probably more of a gruntier, meatier type.
Yeah.
So, but no, sorry. They're not either. They're not A for sale, and certainly not available for giveaways.
Oh,
Or
it's
loans.
worth a try, eh?
Yeah.
Worth a try.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing, at least for another year anyway.
Yeah.
I've got to pay back my debt a little bit, and I'm really thankful to get access to that ram. And I think other breeders will be happy that you've given a token of gesture from the shedding sheep industry.
Yeah, well, to be fair, it wouldn't worry me if they didn't, but that's at the end of the day, I got a ram that's sat in my paddock for a year. He's going to continue to sit in my paddock.
Yeah.
And as far as I'm concerned, you've done a lot for shedding sheep, so why not reward you in some way? And that's the only way I know I can reward you. So
that's right. I do this for free, everyone, and just on a note, I do it for free. I do it because I enjoy it. I'm not being forced to by anyone, and Grant hasn't actually been the biggest benefactor of videos, but he is probably my biggest fan. He does help me out from time to time if I need a bit of advice, and I pester him on ideas and concepts, but they primarily actually come from me. He isn't biasing me, and he's still not going to bias me, even though he's given me a ram. Because we do get on as mates, and we do have different opinions at times, don't we?
we do.
We do disagree at times. There is some disagreements.
Yep.
And so that's important as well.
Yep.
So I'll put a bit of footage of my ram up. He's running with some other people who've got this far. He's running with some cows and some teasers and some odd mix of rams.
My motley crew is what it's called.
But I'm certainly excited to get him coming up to the North Island.
Yep.
Thanks very much.
Awesome. No
Cool,
worries.
mate.
Cheers.